Forget gurus. Forget anyone claiming to be an online business expert without going through the challenges of entrepreneurship themselves. The Real Money, Real Business podcast is here to prove the best insights in online business comes from your fellow online business builders. We dig into stories of entrepreneurs selling their business on the Empire Flippers marketplace so that you can learn how they made their business profitable, how they overcame obstacles, and what lessons they learned in their online journey. If you want to take your business and your knowledge to the next level, you've come to the right podcast. Let's get started.
Hey everyone, welcome to the Real Money, Real Business podcast. I'm Lauren, and today we have Shannon on the show, who's selling a digital product, sponsored post, display advertising, and affiliate business on the Empire Flippers marketplace. Hey Shannon, welcome to the show. How are you doing today?
Great. Thank you so much for having me.
Fantastic. Yeah, really excited to have you on the show. Definitely an interesting business that you've got on your hands here. But before we dive in, I'm going to give the listeners a brief overview of the business so that they have a better idea of what we're talking about. As I mentioned, this is a digital product, sponsored post, display advertising, and affiliate business. It was created in March 2017, and it's in the finance, lifestyle, home, and food and beverages niches. The average revenue for the business is $85,030 per month, and it makes an average of $31,285 per month in net profit. The assets included with the business are a primary domain and all site content and files, secondary domains, an Amazon associate shop, contractor contacts, supplier contracts, a Shopify account, a Teachable account, a ClickFunnels account, a Canva Pro account, Facebook, Instagram, Pinterest, YouTube, and TikTok social media accounts, a trademark, and an email list with 157,000 subscribers. For everyone listening, you can visit empireflippers.com/marketplace and search for listing number 67335 to learn more about this business. Or you can unlock this listing to start your due diligence if you're interested in purchasing this asset. So with all of that out of the way, let's dive in. Shannon, can you fill us in on your background in starting and running online businesses?
Yes. So everything is very self-taught. My background is not in marketing or business or anything like that. I just enjoying reading blogs and scrolling Instagram, realized that there were moms, like stay-at-home moms, that were making money with blogs and doing sponsored posts and things like that. So I just kind of started reading and researching and definitely made a ton of mistakes in the beginning while I was learning. And then it took me about 2 years to finally start making an income from the business and kind of figuring out what my niche was going to be. Then from there, it just grew exponentially over the last 3 years, I would say, is when it really started to take off.
Yeah, the business has certainly experienced some really great growth. When you were searching around for a niche to settle into, what made you decide to operate in this particular niche?
Well, I had $400,000 of student loan debt, and I really wanted to be a stay-at-home mom, and I didn't want to have to go get 5 or 6 extra side hustles that I had to leave the house to do to pay all that off. And I saw that people were making just a crazy amount of money with online businesses. And once I figured it out, I was like, I know I can do this and make it really, really profitable. So it was kind of a necessary, I needed to make as much money as I could in a short amount of time so I could pay off debt. And then I decided that I would share my journey and talk about frugal living, ways to save money. And one of the biggest things that my audience was interested in was meal planning and how to save money on groceries. So once I figured out that was what people wanted, I really leaned into it and started creating digital products based around done-for-you meal plans. And people bought them, and that's really when things started to take off.
Yeah, that's great. It's always lovely when the business that you start not only helps you pay off debt, but helps you live the lifestyle that you want, which is the wonderful thing about online businesses, I think. Your business earns revenue from a variety of different sources. Can you walk me through the various income streams that you have?
Yes, I would say probably 99% is from digital products. And I run Facebook ads, TikTok ads, and some Google ads to my digital products. And that is the primary source of income, which is nice because it's mostly passive as long as the Facebook ads are working. And, they have their ups and downs, but most of the time it's pretty stable. You can kind of predict it. And then sponsored posts are probably the second thing because I've grown a large social media following. So I'm able to land brand deals with some larger companies, and they'll usually pay a few $1,000s for a TikTok or an Instagram post or a blog post, something like that. And then affiliate revenue is something that I have, but I haven't really leaned into a lot. So I do put like Amazon links in my blog posts and things like that. And I have a few other random affiliate partnerships. So that's some of the income, but definitely a place for growth. And then display advertising on my blog through Mediavine is probably the lowest. Oh, that's probably more than affiliate. They're probably about the same, affiliate and display advertising. But again, I feel like my knowledge of SEO, I could do a lot better with getting more traffic to the site now than when I first started out. And so that's definitely an opportunity for growth there to get more income from display advertising.
Yeah, that's great. Let's follow on with that train of thought. What do you see as the biggest growth opportunities that buyers can tap into with this business?
Yeah, so I realized, and especially with having an email list of 157,000, and most of those people got on my list because they purchased something from my Facebook ads. And so it's a list of people ready to buy. And I've noticed creating a new meal plan, even if it's just like a small, like $12, $14 meal plan or something like that every month, or even a meal plan subscription could be a really easy way to get some recurring revenue. And then also some kind of grocery savings course, I think would be a good addition to this program. Also, an affiliate opportunity. So if the buyer didn't want to create their own meal planning subscription, partnering with one of these big meal plan subscription companies would be another thing that I've considered doing. And then growing the traffic to the site to increase revenue from display ads, I think would be good. Because since I started my site knowing nothing in 2017, I definitely made a lot of SEO mistakes and things like that. So I feel like someone with really good SEO knowledge could bring a lot more traffic in and get the Mediavine income up quite a bit. Those are like the main things that kind of jump out to me. And I'm creative mind, so I'm always thinking of like tons of different things that I could do, and I never have enough time to do them all. But there's definitely a lot because it's kind of like a food blog as well as frugal living. There's a lot of different avenues that you could go to grow the income.
Yeah, definitely. I think that's one of the great things about this business is, as you say, there's sort of a diverse range of topics that you cover. And I think that, the subscription idea as an expansion opportunity is great. And you've definitely laid the groundwork for the buyer to come in and do all of that. You mentioned how passionate you are about this business and how it helped you give the lifestyle that you were after. What are the reasons that you've decided to sell the business now?
Well, I'm pregnant with my fourth child and I'm due in June, and I'll soon have 4 kids under the age of 10. And I just feel like it's time to really focus on family right now. And I kind of want to focus on something that's more like a solo entrepreneur thing, like just running a solely content SEO based blog, kind of that I could do with just like a little bit less effort and not have to have a team to run. I do feel like this business, there's a lot of passive income, but you do need like someone to help with Facebook ads, and you need a customer service assistant that's helping you answer emails. And then really to like pump out more content, you would benefit from having writers and some kind of organized schedule, and organization is not my strong point. So I'm always like, if only I had time to, create like a more standardized schedule that I could stick to, things like that. I really like to volunteer at my church and at my kids' school and things like that. And I would just like to lean into more things like that during the week instead of managing a team and running a business that is definitely on an exponential growth. And so I think it's only going to get bigger and busier. And that's not necessarily the lifestyle that I want to lean into. I prefer more of a solo entrepreneur lifestyle, I guess.
Yeah, absolutely. It sounds like you're definitely going to have your hands very full very soon. And the business is only getting busier, as you say. So definitely time to free up some mental bandwidth there. Looking back over your journey with this business, as you say, it's experienced exponential growth. So what would you say are the biggest wins or success stories and milestones that you've sort of encountered along the way?
Figuring out how to sell digital products, I think, was the biggest thing because it can take a long time to grow. When you start a blog, you think that display ads are going to be like your main source of income. And that takes a long time to grow. But once I figured out selling digital products, you can do that even with a very small audience, as long as you figure out what it is they need and what it is they want. And so during the pandemic, that was when I was like, okay, what is something people really still need help with that they would still buy, even if like money was tight. And that was when I realized meal planning was something that everyone needs help with, and having like a done for you meal plan would be really helpful. And once I figured that out just by listening to people ask me questions and created the meal plan, when I first released it, I had a $160,000 month. That was in March of 2021. So it was like a year into the pandemic. And like with TikTok coming out and getting really popular too, figuring out kind of how to market on that platform while it was kind of new and growing was really good for growing my email list. And that was really when things started to explode after I launched that meal plan. And then I was able to kind of duplicate that anytime I created a new meal plan. That I made like a kids meal planner after that and different things like that people would buy. And so I felt like figuring out my niche was a big thing. And then just kind of figuring out what worked and what didn't work with social media marketing and things like that. So yeah.
Yeah, that's great. Trying to anticipate what your audience wants can be tricky. So to have a $160,000 month after releasing that meal plan must have been such a great validation for you to know that you really do understand your audience like that.
Yeah. And it just shows I started all of this stuff in 2017 and that was 2021, I think. So like the fact that, you just don't give up, even though you've failed a million times. That if you just keep going, eventually you're going to figure out what sticks and what works.
Yeah, exactly. Absolutely. Perseverance is definitely key when it comes to online businesses. Earlier on, you mentioned that, you made a ton of mistakes with this business. It took you a while to gain traction. What were some of the biggest setbacks or challenges that you experienced?
One of the things, it took me like 2 or 3 years to realize that I should have been building an email list. That's obviously really important because of all the social media algorithm changes all the time. But my email list is always very reliable with about a 35 to 40% open rate. So I can pretty much always depend on them. Like if there's a new blog post or a YouTube video or a new product, like that's going to be there. And in the beginning, I thought, well, everyone will just follow me on social media. There's no need for that. And so I feel like I lost out on a lot of growth or like original followers in the beginning, like 2 or 3 years of list building that I could have been doing along the way. So I knew that an email list was important because I would listen to marketers and people say that, but I was like, that's not for me, I don't think. And I think that was probably like the biggest mistake. And then not understanding SEO when building my blog in the beginning. And that just came with time. And so as I've gotten better and figured it out, I've been able to go back and fix old blog posts or delete ones that weren't bringing traffic and things like that. So I think those were probably the two biggest things that made me start out really slow. But I feel like it all had to happen or I would have never learned and where I am now. So yeah.
Yeah, it's funny. A lot of entrepreneurs, email often feels a bit outdated in the modern world with social media and everything, but it is such a powerful tool. So I think you're not alone in sort of underestimating the power of email. Now that you've tapped into that, it sounds like you've got some really strong traffic sources with your email list. You mentioned that you're doing some social media advertising as well, and that you've built up your SEO skills. So with all of that in mind, where does the majority of the traffic come to your site from?
I think it's probably my email list, but I also get a good amount of organic traffic now. Yeah, email list is big. And then getting the automated traffic from the Facebook ads. My Facebook ads run on Instagram as well. And so there's always people visiting my profile after they see the ad. They go to the profile, then they open my link, and then they see links to my blog, to my products, and different things like that. So that's kind of always bringing in new people, having those ads running 24/7. Those are probably the three main traffic sources, I would say.
Are you running your SEO campaigns yourself, or do you have any agencies or freelancers helping you out there?
I have a freelancer that he does Facebook ads, Google ads, and TikTok ads, and he runs those fully for me. I have run them myself in the past and tried a few different ad agencies, but he has done a really good job, and he's been running my ads since last summer and has done a really good job with growing profit from the ads.
Yeah, it's great to have some expert help there, especially since it is such a vital traffic source for you. Let's dive into your content creation process now. Can you walk us through how you go about creating content, whether it be your digital products or content for your blog?
Yes. So I create all of my digital products completely on my own. For my blog, and well, I should say I create the design and put the product together, but I have help creating the recipes that go into the meal plans. So I usually hire freelancers that'll develop recipes, and then I'll put them together in like a little meal plan and put like a grocery list and all of that together. That's something you could definitely hire out. I just prefer to like have my hands in that part. And then as far as the blog content, I usually always hire freelance writers to do blog posts, and then try to focus on video creation myself. So like TikToks and Reels for Instagram and YouTube videos, I'll try to do that myself. However, since my content's kind of leaned more towards food lately and meal planning, you can kind of put your face out of it. So that would be an easy transition, I think, because a lot of times my face is in the videos. And I think it would be an easy transition to just go to like the hands and pans kind of like tasty style videos, creating recipes. So that would be an easy transition for the buyer.
Yeah, I think that's an important thing to note. How do you come up with what sort of new content you want to create? Are you doing keyword research or market research?
Usually I'll have my freelancer that I've been using. She's really good at creating frugal meals. And so I just kind of tell her, I'm like, hey, I want to do crock pot meals this month and make like a mini meal plan of crock pot meals, or I want to do sheet pan meals. And I just want them to be really frugal for these people, like $1 per serving or something like that. Then I just kind of let her create whatever. And then people that write blog posts for me, I let them do the keyword research usually. Sometimes I'll just feel like writing a blog post, and so I'll do keyword research for myself. And as far as like the video content, usually I just try to focus on something that's going to lead to sales of my meal planner. So whether it's let me show you how to save money on groceries, or here's a really good, easy recipe for like a busy weeknight and it's really affordable. Here's how you make it. If you want to see more of these, I have a meal plan that's done for you. I try to just focus on posts that are going to lead to sales. And then if that post does really good, sometimes I'll turn it into a Facebook ad. But as far as like an organized content schedule, that is definitely where I lack. So I would just like wake up in the morning and I'm like, what am I going to post today? I don't know. I feel like someone that's really organized could continue to explode this blog and the content for sure.
Yeah, absolutely. And how often are you adding new content to the blog, whether it be digital products or blog content or video content?
I usually will create a new product every 3 or 4 months, a new meal plan or some kind of like freebie, like a free printable to get more leads, different things like that. So probably every 3 to 4 months, I'll create something new. My original meal planner that I created is still running like the same Facebook ads since 2021. So like for the last 2 years, it does really well evergreen. And then like I'll try to create certain things for different holidays, like how to budget for the holidays, like a little planner. I even created like annual just life planner that people can use to help them with their budget and with their goals for the year. I'll try like different things, like not just related to food, some things related to budgeting, and sometimes just like fun things that you can do at home with your family that are on a budget, different digital products like that. So it's kind of sporadic. Like if I have an idea, I'll create it. Well, sometimes I'll create like 3 or 4 new products in a couple of months. And sometimes I'll go like 6 months without making anything new if it's like a crazy time in my personal life or something like that. So yeah, it's kind of random. Ideally, my idea in my head would be to create like a mini meal plan every month that you could always be selling to your list and to social media that's in different categories. And I've kind of started to do that. But yeah, life gets in the way of it. I try to create like something new every month whenever I can.
Yeah, that makes sense. With a busy life, I'm sure it is hard to sort of nail down a regular schedule there.
And that, yeah, that could be an opportunity. Like if you hired someone that every month created a new product, that would probably be ideal. I have a little bit of a control issue. So like sometimes I'm like wanting to do a lot of things myself. And I realize I could probably let go of a lot of things and it would go more smoothly. But yeah, I try to do a lot myself and sometimes it doesn't get done.
Yeah, that happens. With that in mind, what does a typical work week look like for you when running this business and juggling your personal life at the same time?
Yeah, so I have a meeting every Monday with my ads manager, and he tells me like how my ads are performing and how those things are going. And then I communicate through Slack with him throughout the week and also with my customer service person. And I have a lot of like templates and things like that that she can copy and paste to answer emails. So she pretty much just like answers all my emails and like all the Facebook messages, comments, and things like that. People that have questions or they can't find their digital download, things like that. And she sends it to them. So it's pretty hands off as far as the Facebook ads. Just I answer questions through Slack if they have questions, but it's pretty nice and like passive, I would say. Like the last 3 weeks, we've been moving into a new house. And so I haven't had time to create any social media content, but I was still generating income from the Facebook ads and everything, which is nice. I always send an email once a week at least. So I make sure to always remain in communication so that they're not like, who is this in my email inbox? So sometimes I'll send 3 or 4 emails a week if I'm having a sale, which I try to do once a month. I have already the emails done basically. And so at the end of every month, I'm like, I should do a sale. And so I decide on a product to do a sale on to my email list. And I might send a couple emails a day during a sale. And those are the like must do's for me. So it doesn't take much time during the week. But then if I am feeling like extra motivated to do a lot of recipe videos or social media content, that takes a little bit longer because then you have to edit the videos and things like that. But it's not necessary to run the business. And you could definitely hire people to be making those videos of the recipes and things like that.
Yeah, that's fantastic. With all of that in mind, what would you say are the biggest challenges that a buyer might encounter when taking over the business?
Yeah, that is my biggest worry about the transition would be just the personalization of the business. And so just because it was built around my story originally about wanting to pay off the debt and the frugal living, but knowing that I was wanting to sell or considering selling, I've really stepped away a lot from the social media aspect of it and the personalization and the debt-free journey updates and things like that, and really kind of made it more about the food and the meal planning. And so I think that's going to help ease the transition a lot already, just because I have already stepped back a lot from like making it so much about myself. So I think that would be the biggest challenge. However, a lot of people are coming onto my email list and buying from a cold Facebook audience ad. So they don't know anything about me, and they're still purchasing the meal plan and coming onto the email list as a buyer. And then you have them on your email list and you can continue selling them meal plans and different things like that. So that would be my only concern, is because it started out very personalized, but I'm doing my best to kind of already be making that transition for the buyer.
Yeah, I think it's great that you thought ahead and anticipated that. It certainly sounds like you've laid the groundwork for a buyer to be able to take over the business pretty seamlessly, which is fantastic. How much support are you willing to offer the buyers to help ease that transition even further?
Yeah, I said 3 months in the questionnaire on Empire Flippers, and it's definitely negotiable how much support they would need. I'm open to discussing anything really the buyer might feel like they need.
Fantastic. Yeah, I think that'll come in really handy. And when it comes time to sit down with the buyer and discuss the details of the sale, would you be open to something like an earn-out agreement?
Yes, I definitely would be interested in considering that option.
Fantastic. And would you commit to a non-compete agreement?
Yes, I would.
Wonderful. Well, that leads us to the final question of the interview, the one that everyone's been waiting for. If you had to put yourself into the shoes of a buyer, why do you think your business is a business worth buying?
Yeah, well, at least here in the US right now, inflation, rising grocery prices, it is like a huge hot topic. And so I think that that's one of the main reasons that this business has had so much growth. People are desperate for help with their grocery budget, with their meal planning, and how to save money so that they can continue living the lifestyle that they want for their families without so much financial pressure. And so I think the opportunity to buy a frugal lifestyle business that's growing, and the time that we're in right now, it's like the perfect opportunity. And I think with some extra love, this business will continue to grow and help a lot of people too.
Yeah, absolutely. It certainly sounds like a really wonderful business and a great opportunity for a buyer. Is there anything else that you'd like to share with our listeners? Any details about the business that I might have missed?
No, I feel like we've covered everything.
Perfect. Well, Shannon, thank you so much for coming onto the show and sharing some insights into you and your business. It certainly sounds like a wonderful business for a buyer to get their hands on, and I appreciate you taking the time out of your day.
Thank you so much.
All right, everyone, thanks for listening. To learn more and see if this listing has already been sold, head over to empireflippers.com/marketplace and search for listing number 67335. If you're watching this on YouTube, click the link in the description to go straight to the listing. Once you've unlocked this listing, you'll be given everything you need to know about this business. So until next time, enjoy your digital journey.